Namaskar, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, students and scholars, teachers and trainers, professors, professionals, officers, officials, listeners, learners. I welcome all respected deputy and directors. I welcome all honorable ministers and managers. I welcome honorable advocates, advisors, administrative advisors. I welcome the most honorable President Dr. Rakesh from USC, heartily welcome. It is really nice time, nice place, nice section today. Dear friends, today we will go through what is happening around the world in the form of unity and diversity. Supreme Court seeks CBI status report on Manipur violence cases. Surya Chief Justice of India, says we can ask the Chief Justices of Manipur and Guwahati High Court to coordinate and see how victim statements need to be handled. Let the CBI file as a status report. Also, victims must be provided with free legal aid in these situations. News from New Delhi, the Supreme Court on Friday directed the Central Bureau of Investigation (CBI) to file a status report detailing whether the agency has compiled sufficient evidence to bring home the guilt to persons accused of various serious offences, including the sexual assault and gang rape of women during the sectarian violence that rocked Manipur in May 2023. A bench headed by Chief Justice of India Surya said the CBI must share copies of the charge sheets with the victims or their families. The top court proposed interesting the Chief Justice of Manipur and Guwahati High Courts to monitor the progress of the criminal trials. It said the victims should be provided quality legal aid if required. The court upped the ante on the trials linked to the Manipur violence after Advocate Gulinda Grover appearing in multiple applications related to young women sexually assaulted during the conflict brought it up. MS Grover highlighted the case of a young woman who died in January 2026 from an illness believed to be linked to the trauma. She underwent being gang raped during the early days of the ethnic violence. These applications relate to young women sexually assaulted and gang raped during the violence. These were among the two. There was among the 11 cases transferred to the CBI. It was said they would be monitored by the apex court now. One of the young women died in January 2026. I have been able to trace the trial court orders in her case. She said the young woman was never informed about the progress of her case by the CBI. The matter is being dealt with such casualness. The accused are not appearing. The CBI is not present. The main accused are not there, she said. BNP secured landslide victory in Bangladesh. Transfer of power likely by February 17 or 18. Say interim government officials Modi congratulates Rahman on his win. says India will continue to support national referendum approves reforms from Dhaka. The Bangladesh Nationalist Party, led by Chairman Tariq Rahman, is set to return to power in Dhaka after 2 decades. Following the landslide victory in the February 12 parliamentary election, winning an absolute majority of seats according to the Election Commission of Bangladesh. The BNP-led alliance had secured 212 seats, giving it a two-third majority in the Jatiyo Sansad, the 11th party alliance led by the Jamaat-e-Islami has won 77 seats while independent candidates won 8 seats. Mr. Rahman has started receiving congratulatory messages from world leaders, including from Prime Minister Modi. I convey my warm congratulations to Mr. Tariq Rahman. This victory shows the trust of the people in your leadership. India will continue to stand in support of a democratic, progressive, and inclusive Bangladesh. I look forward to working with you to strengthen our manifested relations and advance our common development goals, Mr. Modi said, while the process of transfer of power from the interim government led by Chief Advisor Mohammad Yunus will be clearer after a gazette notification by the Bangladesh Election Commission. The interim government had indicated that it is set to hand over the reins to the newly elected government by February 17 or 18. National referendum Bangladeshi voters have endorsed sweeping democratic reform in a national referendum. The Election Commission said, according to the Commission, 60.2% of voters blocked the reform package. Former leaders meet Rahul over US state deal from New Delhi. Congress leads in Telangana civic polls BJP falters from Hyderabad. Other 6 lakh names likely to be removed from West Bengal voter list from Kolkata. Stalins Bonaja 5,000 rupees in accounts of 1.31 crore women from Chennai. Trump dismantles legal basis for US climate rules, draws condemnation from Washington. US President Donald Trump has revoked the landmark scientific finding underpinning US regulations to curb planet warming pollution, marking his biggest rollback of climate policy to date. The repeal of Environmental Protection Agency's 2009 endangerment funding was paired with the immediate elimination of greenhouse gas standards on automobiles. But it also places a host of other climate rules in jeopardy, including carbon dioxide emission from power plants and methane leaks for oil and gas production. Legal challenges are expected to follow swiftly. This discrimination had no basis in fact, had none whatsoever, and no basis in law. Mr. Trump said at a White House event on Thursday, he dismissed concerns that the repeal could cost lives by worsening climate change, reiterating his belief that human-caused global warming of a hoax. The administration also framed the measures as a cost-saving move, claiming it would generate more than $1 trillion in regulatory savings and bring down repair costs. The announcement immediately drew condemnation from Democrats and green groups. We will be less safe, less healthy, and less able to fight climate change. All so the fossil fuel industry can make even more money, warned former President Barack Obama under whose government the funding was created. Kanun case Indian man pleads guilty in US court from New York. Indian national Nikhil Gupta, accused of being involved in an unsuccessful assassination plot against Sikh separatist Gurprat Singh Pannu in New York City, pleaded guilty on Friday to three criminal charges. The spokesperson for the U.S. Attorney Office in Manhattan said. Spain, England, France city drawn together from news from Brussels. Spain and England will face in the next edition of the UEFA Nations League following Thursday's draw, which also threw up a clash between France and Italy, while Germany and the Netherlands renewed their rivalry. One league rebranded as IFL, AIFF says from New Delhi. One league, the country's second tier football league, has officially been rebranded as the Indian Football League. The All India Football Federation said on Thursday. Finally, that's finally it's less football time. The new edition, delayed by nearly 4 months, get underway in a truncated form in a truncated format featuring 14 teams. The AIFF has opted for a single round robin format this time around. News from Kolkata. Defending champion Mohun Bagan Super Giant will kick off the long delayed season of the Indian Super League when it was three-time runner-up Kerala Blasters at the Salt Lake Stadium on Saturday. The new edition, delayed by nearly 4 months, finally gets underway in a truncated format featuring 14 teams. Arsenal's Brentford State Arsenal's Brentford stalemate leaves the door open for the chasing pack from London. Arsenal missed the chance to extend its Premier League lead to 6 points as Brentford battered the Gunners in 1-1 draw on Thursday to give Manchester City hope in the title case. The title race. A thumping win for Mickey Hayter and Associates. The legal drama continued to be entertaining. The solid mystery that in rousing scenes. Sometimes the comfort watch is all that one wants, and David E. Kelly's The Lincoln's lawyer in its fourth season offers just that. There is a mystery that doesn't insult one's intelligence while not being so judicially as to have one constantly going back to get the facts straight. Adarsh Rowe, Adarsh Gaurav and Sanya pull off this killer collab. Vijay Nambiar finally marries flirt with content in a class cross romance with a reptilian twist. Shahid Kapoor source Vishal Bhardwaj struggle with his meandering romantic action drama. It is brooding, bloody, and beautiful in parts. But oh, Romeo eventually turns out to be boring and burdened by the filmmakers cast brilliance. The film isn't a literal adaptation of the bird. In the middle of Romeo of Sun, the revenge-filled girl from a rich music background tells Tara, the razor-wielding contract killer of the Mumbai underworld, that she is from Muzaffarnagar but her gharana is Gwalior. Usra responds as if his home is Lucknow but his gharana is Mumbai. The conversation is writer-director Vishal Bhardwaj's way of reminding us that his home is Bollywood street but his gharana is Shakespearean. Imagine the doom, passion and fatal devotion of Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet were stripped of barons, balconies and transplanted into the blood-soaked shores of Mumbai's underworld. With our Romeo dancing to Gulzar's lines making पानी की दुकान ऊपर झूली का मक्खन and slashing like a product of Quentin Tarantino. Romeo isn't a literal adaptation of the bird. Instead, it borrowed a emotional architecture. The helpless surrender to love amid inevitable destruction. It grafts it onto the saga of Gangster Hussain, Ustara, a volatile, charismatic anti-hero played the Shahid Kapoor drawn from a chapter in Hussain Jadi's Mafia Queens of Mumbai. What promises to be a gritty crime thriller gradually reveals itself as Bhardwaj's personal excavation of the twin impulses he had grappled with throughout his career. Incandescent love and unflinching violence. The Hindu Year Group 2026, a special publication from the Hindu Group, provides chronicle, contextual, and factual information on the key events that occupied public attention between January and December 2025. It features a calendar of events with profiles of people and data on India and the world. Experts covered critical topics such as life, AI, and indigenous water treaty, while dedicated section analyze global governance, economy, and supports evocative photographs and actual reporting. On a day of upsets, Snehi stages dramatic comeback. Brilliant saves 6 match points in the decider to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. Nithya creates a ripple, Mano and Ramesh doubles pair of Manush Diya, Sean the Dog, news from Chennai. Humiliating loss to Argentina. Puts Indian team senior under security from Rourkela. The Indian team's disastrous outing against Argentina in the phase broadly on Thursday may not have the alarm bells ringing just yet, but there is no denying that the concern go beyond the 8 to 0 score line. Two arrested for raping, blackmailing minor from Bhopal. The Madhya Pradesh police have arrested 2 men in connection with the alleged rape of a minor girl inside 4 cars on various occasions and blackmailing her offers said on Friday. 4.88 lakh crore rupees quality sector credit projected for Rajasthan. Abhishek Veer's family of Bengal migrant worker killed in Pune from Kolkata. 11 Jharkhand workers stuck in Dubai return home. Face a back from Patna. 11 migrant workers from 3 districts of Jharkhand UP witnessing model of Renaissance under BJP regime, says Adityanath, who's from Lucknow. State's 9-year journey has been changed from crime to discipline, curfew to the rules of law, rights to celebration, says CM, responding to the discussion on the governor's address in the assembly. Uttar Pradesh was considered a burden due to economic distress, poor infrastructure, and lawlessness before 2017, but has emerged as India's economic powerhouse. Under his regime, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath said while responding to the discussion on the governor's address in the Assembly on Friday, the fifth day of the budget session, highlighting the state's economic rise, infrastructure growth, improved law and order, and public welfare measures, Mr. Adityanath said what was the situation before 2017. Mafia and criminals murdered by the patronage of power were running a parallel government. UP and sold using dead man's false documents from Ayodhya. A man has filed a complaint stating that an unidentified person impersonated his late father and used false documents to execute a sale deed of his 1.5 lakh square feet ancestral land to a Delhi-based real estate company. Police here said on Friday. Martina Devi wins gold from Sports Bureau. I'm ready to keep letting it out on the tour. Shashi Kumar would like climb to the top from Chennai. India ends Asian Championship on a high tops table from New Delhi. Parag named Rajasthan Royals captain from New Delhi. Gomez sets up a semi-final with Simakin, news from Chennai. I'm a changed man now, his son says from New Delhi. I'm always working on some new deliveries, says Varun from New Delhi. English and Scottish cricketers reprise age-old reporting, age-old supporting rivalry from Kolkata. Too close to call as New Zealand takes on Youth Africa from Ahmedabad. There is a little to separate New Zealand and South Africa on and off the field to win each in the ongoing T20 World Cup. Battle of Provence, restless to fight it out for coveted silver match in Bihar's Dubai. News from Patna, nearly 200 wrestlers from across Bihar are set to converge at Dubai on Saturday to showcase their physical prowess at the two-day Martikabal Dangal. BJP legislator claims Kashmir residents illegally occupying land in Jammu city is passed out from Jammu. Waika and Coastal Road play Marathi melody from MS Mumbai. CPI ready to cooperate if Congress alleges value of holding hands with secular forces from Kolkata. Interfaith marriage stalled amid protest by UP Hindu outfits from Meerut. BJP confident of winning third Rajya Sabha seat from Odisha despite having numbers from Bhubaneswar. Tamil Nadu election, a direct fight between PVK and DMK, says Vijay from Salem. Congress leads in Telangana's civic elections, BJP faltered. Ruling party wins 1,347 votes in 116 municipalities, BRS lose half the seat it won in 2020. BJP wins none. CM Ravant Reddy praises workers. Priyanka says verdict shows people's faith in government. Six killed by wild elephants in Jharkhand, Hazirabad. Jubil death case family demand fast track court. Allianz and Sohaib Khan in clutch for UAE after Junet's 5-wicket haul from New Delhi. USA roots Netherlands Testes from win from Chennai. An unbelievable victory, says Raja from Colombo. We weren't good enough, Remsa from Colombo. Bennett and Muzaffarpani steal the show as Zimbabwe stuns Australia. The openers unbeaten 64 takes the team to 169 for 2 before the Pacer and his new ball partner Evans sweep out the 2021 champions top order. Abhishek reminds me of Violent Prime, says Kapu Gedera. Muzaffarpani, third Zimbabwe player to claim 100 T21 wickets. Taylor ruled out with injury, then Tulane named as replacement. Ireland captain Sterling to miss the remainder of the T20 WC. National anthem state song recital now, part of daily routine in Karnataka prisons. News from Bangalore. In what the police call an effort to instill discipline and foster positive thinking among prison inmates. The Karnataka Prisons Department had introduced a package of singing the national anthem at the Nadagi state song twice a day across prisons. Director General of Police Prisons Alok Kumar shared the initiative aims to reform inmates by increasing a sense of national and cultural connection. Under the new system, inmates ascend the early morning after unlocking at 6:30 a.m. and again in the evening before lockout at 6:30 p.m. to sing Janganman and Jya Bharata Janai Tanujati. This will bring positivity among the inmates and help them reflect on the values of peace and harmony. Mr. Kumar shares through regular recitation and collective singing. Their thinking patterns may gradually change, which will help subdue violence and aggression inside prisons. Apart from singing the anthem and the state song, inmates are also being trained in basic parade discipline. According to prison officials, several foreigners lost in Karnataka prisons have also joined the initiative. They are learning about Kannada culture, Sudhi, Nadagite, promoting a sense of inclusiveness and national integration. Many inmates were not even aware of the Nadagite Nadagire earlier. Many foreigners who are in prisons joined as they are now part of the system. Mr. Kumar added the concept was noted about 10 days ago during a department review meeting. Prison authorities said inmates were taught the songs through repeated recitation and guided practice, giving them an opportunity to understand the meaning. Singing of national anthem and Nadagite has been made a regular practice in all the prisons of Karnataka to inculcate discipline, pride in our native language, traditions, and heritage among inmates. VD Satisan claims delay in FIR against former MLA says from Kozhikode. APCM claims TTDG law used to attack his family from Vijayawada. Ivory was 2 crore rupees stolen from Kerala military station from Trivandrum. Driver pays with 16 lakh rupees made for ATM frauding. Give some acknowledgement to Garupat singer for song use. Supreme Court tells A.R. Rahman. From New Delhi, the Supreme Court asked music composer A.R. Rahman and the producer of Tamil film Maureen Salman second on Friday to consider giving some sort of an acknowledgement to Gurupat, Gurupat singer and Padma Shri awardee Ustad Fayyaz Wasifuddin Tagar for the musical composition Shivastuti used the song Veer Raja Veera featured in the Tamil film. 7 killed as 4 vehicles collide near Bengaluru, news from Bengaluru. 7 persons were killed in a pile-up involving 2 cars, a truck and a two-wheeler near Salibili in Hoskote. Hoskote about 35 kilometers from Bengaluru early on Friday. Tamil Nadu opposition party Islam 5,000 rupees payout ahead of poll. Palaniswamy accuses Stalin of suffering from the fear of election defeat. PMK leader Anbu Mani says the DMK cannot use the doll to hide the impact of rising prices on the people of the state. News from Chennai or Tirupattur. Still have my police job, but I haven't been on supposed leave for a long time. A co-op and a world class grandmaster slave has endorsed safety rules in the UAE and outmaneuvered our top players of the world. He speaks in this chat about what got him hooked to chess tactics, how the game had grown in his country, why he was surprised by Mukesh winning over title and when an amateur who had learned chess off YouTube started him in a library. By being a technical player, I think is a cultural thing when I grew up. The coaches were all about tactics, all about combination, and this, in their eyes, is the beauty of chess. Overdue upgrade, the new CJ series will add policy making and bolster data stability. Deliver for defined wages, empower the worker. The implementation of India's labor force marks a decisive shift towards greater financial inclusion of the workforce by embedding social security, income protection, and long-term financial safeguards into the employment relationship by consolidating multiple fragmented labor laws. The courts aim not only to modernize labor governance but also to ensure that the gains of economic growth are shared more equitably with workers. While some trade unions have responded with nationwide strike calls, a closer examination of the labor codes reveals that these reforms are fundamentally designed to correct long-standing exclusions and integrate millions of workers into formal systems of financial and social security. There will be an expansion of worker benefits with financial inclusion and an enhancement of his long-term social security. Our Mukandan is President, designate the Constitution of Indian Industry and the Managing Director and CEO of Tata Chemicals Limited. A decisive mandate India Bangladesh have had the opportunity to reset ties with the defeat of Jamaica. India tasted from US sanctions to one-sided trade deal. India's India's autonomy and global credibility could be undermined by its unilateral trade deal with the United States. Despite all the fanfare and furor in Parliament, it may be premature to celebrate or criticize the India-United States bilateral trade agreement simply because it has not yet been passed with last week's announcement of a framework for an interim agreement on reciprocal trade. The big step up after the trying day travels. Graduating from AS group cricket to the senior game is fraught with challenges for India's all-conquering under-19 player. The World Cup win, while deserving of rich praise, is not an end in itself. The arduous journey of fulfilling their potential without losing focus has just begun. Just as India celebrates its teenage prodigies, it also quickly tires of them once they fall by the wayside. In Dhaka, a new dawn and a gathering storm. The Bangladesh Nationalist Party is set to form. The government in Dhaka after a landslide victory, but jubilation is also palpable at the Jamaat Islami headquarters as the party led alliance has secured 77 seats as the country prepares for its first elected government since Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's ouster in August 2024. The road ahead remains fraught with challenges. While the liberation war was fought against discrimination by the Pakistan government, it was discrimination by the Hasina government that prompted us to elect in 2024. In February 12, in More Bazar, a densely populated area in Dhaka, hundreds of Jamaat-e Islami cadres gathered together, wearing colorful caps and fine or they watched the future of Bangladesh's politics being rewritten. while the Bangladesh Nationalist Party won the election, securing 209 seats out of 300. The Jamaat Islami, the principal challenger, won 68, its highest tally since the country's independence. Lisa Vitarna, Sri Lanka's LSSP leader, died at 91. News from Colombo. Lisa Vitarna, leader of Sri Lanka's leftist Lanka Samaj Party, LSSP, and a key figure in All Party Representative Committee formed in 2006 to develop a political solution. The island's civil war died in Colombo early Friday. He was 91. Second Justice of Korea being sent to West Asia from Washington. The United States will send the world's largest aircraft carrier to the West Asia to back up another already there, a person familiar with the plan said on Friday, putting more American firepower behind President Donald Trump's efforts to push Iran into a deal over its nuclear program. Women minority representation at two-decade low from Dhaka. The Bangladesh Nationalist Party secured a landslide victory. The 13th national polls have recorded the lowest representation of women and ethnic minorities in Bangladesh in over 2 decades. Only 7 women have been directly elected to parliament, while representation from religious and ethnic minority communities has also fallen with just 4 candidates elected. Bangladesh voters endorsed July charter reform in referendum news from Dhaka. Bangladesh voters choose change and continuity, while while voters backed the July charter that promises reforms. They voted an establishment party to power. Jamaat Islami failed to secure a majority but emerged as the principal opposition and will continue to shape Bangladesh's politics and civil the party fondly by student leaders could not turn the uprising momentum into words. In BNP's win, both Dhaka and Delhi find an opening to reset ties. US government shows Harvard accuses it of defying admissions fraud. Activist group Palestine Action wins legal battle against UK ban. Iran government announces commission to investigate deadly Zen protest. Trump government reaches trade deal with Taiwan to cut tariff barriers. Stalin Bonanza 5,000 rupees for 1.31 crore women in Tamil Nadu. Aims Delhi takes steps to introduce face transplant from New Delhi. The All India Institute of Medical Sciences Delhi is taking a landmark step toward introducing face transplantation, an advanced and complex reconstructive procedure. The Department of Plastic, Reconstructive and Burn Surgery is hosting a CW workshop and academic training program from February 11 to 15. At a statement by the Institute to lead this training initiative, aims hosted Vimal Sinha, Associate Chief of Plastic Surgery at Brigham and Women's Hospital, part of Harvard Medical School, Boston. Harvard leaders meet Rahul seek support against US trade deal from New Delhi. Panel formed to check contamination in water causing cancer from Vietnam. Nagaland Deputy CM calls for peace after violence from Iran. Mukhtar Ansari, the associate shot dead in UP's Barabanki from Lucknow. Police have formed special teams to nab the culprit. The district has been put on high alert. CGI's office received 8,630 complaints against judges from 2016 to 2025. Minister said from Valley, the Office of the Chief Justice of India received 8,630 complaints against sitting judges in the last decade. Last Law Minister Arjun Ram Meghwal informed the Lok Sabha on Friday. The information came in response to a question raised in the House by Dravida Munnetra and previous Magheshwaran, who has sought the database of complaints regarding corruption, sexual misconduct, or other serious impropriety impropriety received against judges of the High Court or the Supreme Court. Responding to the query, Mr. Begwal submitted that 8,360 complaints against judges were recorded between 2020 and 2025. As per the data shared by the Minister, the CJI Office scored 729 complaints against judges in 2016. Supreme Court says similar report on money violence cases. BNP secures landslide victory in Bangladesh. The BNP spent the day in regional consultations as the top pillars and members of the party's standing committee, including Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir, Amir Bosu, Muhammad Chaudhry, Mirza Abbas Salahuddin Ahmed, and Jayeshwar Chandra Roy returned to the capital Dhaka for consultation with the party chief. India believed Panchashil Pact settled borders. India said independent India was keen on building good ties with China. Says General Chauhan that China's position was that the pact was negotiated only on trade and didn't reflect the stand on borders now from the valley. Chief of Defense Islam CDS General Anil Chauhan on Friday said that the independent India was keen on building a good relationship with China after independence. It was for India to decide where the frontiers lay, he said. Nehru probably knew that we had something like the McMahon line in the McMahon line in the east and we had some kind of claim in the Ladakh area, but it was not clearly defined. That is why he wanted to go in for the Punch Steel agreement, probably General Chauhan said. He said that once Tibet was occupied by China, India gave up those privileges. India recognized China and supported its permanent seat in the United Nations. Authorities restored internet services in Manipur, Akrur from Guwahati. Compliance versus innovation, striking a balanced interest for data security. News from Chennai. AI industry leaders debated about how companies aspire to innovate while ensuring compliance with data security. Universities provide the foundation students need in the age of AI, experts say, discussing the future of academia. They say students get only 40% of their education in the classroom and gain equally from peer-to-peer learning and interactions with professors and industry leaders, urging universities to rethink. They say mass hearing will be replaced by value hiring in future. News from China. News from Chennai. Artificial intelligence experts, industry leaders, and educationists on Friday discussed the future of academia and university education with the growing importance and usage of AI globally at the Hindu Tech Summit 2026 hosted by the Hindu representative presented by the Valor Institute of Technology and co-presented Srifi Technologies in Chennai. Call for large companies to make business process AI first. News from Chennai. The value of university costs you can learn online. People learn only 40% in the classroom. Students gain from peer-to-peer learning, interacting with other students and professors, and when they meet industrialists. Sandhya Pentrade says. B. Kumaraswamy says the negative connotation regarding job losses is clearly overdone. I think the NITI Ayog has estimated that 1.5 billion jobs will be lost primarily at the base level, but look at the opportunity. They are projecting $1.5 trillion worth of opportunity. Jagdish Ramaswamy says we lack the ecosystem, the AI revolutions that should be led by the government and corporate. We need to look at using AI not just in the service economy but in the product economy, only in the product economy. Do you create ideas? Ashwin Sudhavishar Kumar says AI will never replace a human. People who don't know AI will be replaced by those who know AI. The certification process can't create engineer. Only university can create engineer. I am assuring you all with the service industry are definitely not in the coffin. We will surface back with much more to do. When said Vijay Raghavan says, Dheeraj Janbandhu says data is very important when we implement AI model. Data should be consistent and protected from thefts. Organizations that have made data governance framework will have an advantage. BJP accuses Rahul Gandhi for politically uncivilized behavior from New Delhi. Dvesh hails free and fair elections Bangladesh from Srinagar. Congress Mamata congratulated BNP on Bangladesh for with India shares deep-rooted bonds of history, language and culture with Bangladesh. Congress says from New Delhi or Kolkata. Trinamool presses for enforceable basic income from New Delhi. First part of budget session ends Parliament to reconvene in March from New Delhi. The storming first leg of Parliament's budget session ended on Friday, which Congress President and Leader of the Opposition Mallikarjun Kharge criticized the removal of portions of his speech from the Rajya Sabha records. On seats of governance being held, people's aspirations, PL says from New Delhi. Modi says UPMO ने सेवा तीरथ and कर्तव्य भवन are milestones in India's development journey. He says all buildings embodied ideals of British Empire and lacked space. Issues commemorative statement quite on the occasion from New Delhi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the new Prime Minister's office named the Seva Tirath and two buildings of the Central Secretariat on Friday and said they were one important milestone in India's development journey and had been constructed to realize the aspirations of the people of the nation. He said the new buildings reflect the government's commitment to digitalize, to citizen-centric government and national progress. Hasina's presence in India, Bangla Treaty on top of the agenda for the BNP government, News from Dhaka. Extract only relevant data from people and disclose the purpose. News from Chennai. Experts call from continuous security awareness and AI-driven vigilance. Security awareness has to be created from top to bottom. And there is a need to be aware of customer data and ways to secure them. Security awareness has to be a continuous activity and it is everyone's responsibility. Maharajan Suryan, Chief Information Security Officer and Vice President IT, Navitas Life Sciences said in Chennai on Friday. Experts discuss ways to bridge gap between academia and industry from Chennai. Online learning can complement physical classroom. Online education is one of the biggest finds of the last decade. One of the biggest challenges of the generative AI is how it affects the communication skills of the people. Ministry planned English medical dictionary that will be translated into Indian language just from New Delhi. The Union Home Minister intends to compile a standard English medical dictionary that can be translated into 15 Indian languages to encourage students to study medicine in their mother tongue under the National Education Policy 2020. Government cleared export of 25 lakh tons of wheat from New Delhi. Vikram Bhatt's wife granted interim bail in court case. Court grants NIA additional 45 days in Delhi blast case. Delhi High Court questions dialogue. Delhi High Court questions delay in minority panel appointments. IAF Royal Air Force hold air combat training exercise. Telecom service. Telecom service. Providers do not own spectrum, Supreme Court says. Courts say it cannot be subjected to equivalency. Courts say it cannot be subjected to insolvency proceedings, says spectrum is natural resource owned by the people of India with legal title vesting inclusively in the Union of India. Justice P.S. Narasimha, mere recognition of the spectrum licensing rights as an intelligible asset by the TSP in financial statement is not conclusive of their ownership as it only represents control over future economic benefits. Adani Group entered nuclear power sector after Shanti Act. Shanti Act allows private companies to operate nuclear power plants in India just from New Delhi. RBI issues draft circular on revised guidelines for lead bank scheme. BGCH has 1 crore rupees fine on Air India. Consumers get a raw deal as global oil price fall, benefit remains frozen. Passengers vehicle wholesales rose 12.6% in January. German jewelry exports stable in April to January at $23.19 billion. Reliance acquires US license to import 20 million oil. India players deal to purchase 114 Rafales. DSC Nord comes four days ahead of Macron's visit from New Delhi units, largest ever defense acquisition push. India on Thursday cleared along pending proposals to procure 114 Rafale fighter jets under a government-to-government framework which plans nearly 2 decades after the plan was originally rolled out to boost the Indian Air Force's combat prowess. Midday meal worker hanged in front of kids in HP school from Kullu. Apex Court says RERA only facilitating builders in default. Supreme Court on Thursday said it is high time all states rethought the constitution of the real estate regulatory authority as the institution is doing nothing except facilitating defaulting builders. Review arms licenses, Punjab CM carriage police are driven by co-crimes into retail Sambala women. Nipah survivor nurse dies of cardiac arrest. Joint statement basis for US state deal, India says from New Delhi. Counting underway after Bangladesh votes in crucial general polls. Hindu key workers killed in Bangladesh. News from Dhaka. BJP starts process to cancel Rahul Alice membership from New Delhi. Flood Brisbane held a 9 crore rupees GST fraud case from Chandigarh. Accused in Tarn College shooting dies, immediate news from Tarn. GUE pushes for collective efforts in fight against drugs, news from Abohar. Check misuse, CM orders review of firearms licensing. Who amid crackdown on organized crime and drugs, news from Chandigarh. The woman out from Pakistan shell to home, news from Amritsar. On second block building in Jalandhar in ZS to pay Astellas Pharma $120 million to settle patent litigation. News from Ahmedabad. Weight loss therapies set to push pharma growth. News from New Delhi. Lincoln's Pharma Q3 net up to 37%. Ahmedabad SEBI looking at steps to reduce cost of regulation. News from Mumbai. Sensex down 558 558% on sales of NIT shares from Mumbai. Prices of some home care products set to go up natural sales expect finally SM7 to be better on improved demand scenario. Murder accused BJP MLA Basuraj arrested from Bengaluru. As forces advance in Chhattisgarh, Maoist take insurgency underground from Raipur. Nurse who recovered from the archives of cardiac arrest in WP house from Kolkata or New Delhi. Be ready for exemplary cost. Supreme Court warns Jairam spoke truth in Parliament couldn't back down, says Rahul. Supreme Court dress makers of Goose Court Pandit. You can denigrate section of society by such title. A is for apple. Edible alphabet of the great bread basket that India. Why political left or right are exclusionary? We are witnessing. We are witnessing a resurgence of right-wing movements worldwide. Many believe this is a natural consequence of left-wing having overplayed its hand in previous decades. The result an oscillation from one political extreme to another. In past, many felt they had made an intelligent and empowering choice when they moved left, away from stifling segregation and orthodoxy and superstition. Speakers, not the issue, not speaking to each other in parliamentary joust are so bitter and disruptive because of treasury, opponents, leadership, mutual personal dislike. BJP as governing party must take the lead in reaching out. The might be artful, Ireland will help artists by giving them a basic income, but state-studio relationship is complicated. Right call RBI. Banks shouldn't be growing bottom line by misguiding customers. New narrative will hopefully step in. dash all day, buy all night. Why do foreigners, including Indians who are between US government, keep pouring money to America? Much of it has to do with AI and Americans spending habit now rely heavily on sentiment of strangers. SSP apologizes for Golden Temple detention mistake news from Amritsar. Joint Commissioner Jai the Sikh said officials were holding meetings with stakeholders to ensure no one suffered losses while the holy city guidelines were implemented. From Amritsar. Deaths in Iran's crackdown on protesters reached at least 7,000 from Dubai. 18-year-old woman with mental health issues named Canada shooting suspect from Ottawa. US House was to resign Trump tariffs on Canada news from Washington. Seattle reaches USD 629 and settlement with family of great student from India. Polls close counting begins in Bangladesh election after high turnout from Dhaka. Fewer sponsors for H1B visas, CEOs of some pre-season election, hiring candidates within US. FEMA probe Captain Amrinder, the sun does not appear before reading. Asks Bharat Haryana CM offered me BJP ticket. Narendra called Bharat, half MLA from Sangrur, news from Chandigarh said. I don't even know her, signing rejects you MLA charge. BJP make proof of your claim in public. Two from Kullu caught with 15 kilometers in Chandigarh delaying the deal. Four-lane road project affecting industry should not be says from Shimla. In the wake of frequent jams and accidents, we have started a dedicated campaign against these ladies. We understand they are earning their livelihood, but these encroachments can cost lives. We are removing them to ensure safety. Kullu rope-away project was suspended after assault incident, Mr. says from Shimla. Anticipatory bail granted to land acquisition officer of Haryana, News from Panchkula. Kurukshetra Varsity clears 747 crore rupees budget passes 14 key agencies, key agendas from Kurukshetra. Facing fiscal strain, Himachal to hire teachers for 5 years under his foreign policy from Shimla. Pesticide contamination triggers panic in HP village from Shimla. Center rejects 6th statehood in Ladakh from Jammu. No grant but OPS and welfare schemes to continue in HP. Budget in March not to do tax barrier. Two arrested with 8 kilogram heroin in Amritsar, DSGMC filed complaint against Arvind Sharma. At military fast servicemen asked to join war against drugs. Despite protest, PSPCL orders land transfer to Pune from Patiala. Farmers and trade unions in Punjab and Haryana joined Bharat Bandh from Jind or Bathinda. High Court Judge plea retired veterinarians plea for MP Alliance invention. Fellow India's centers to be opened in Mahendragarh from Chandigarh. NHRC notice to Gurgaon police over torture of five minors held captive for 18 hours. 1.8 fine issued in plastic pollution crackdown of Haryana. 32-year-old man found dead in his hotel room. toddler ties of to gate farms in also on him in his early days from his son. Renarage's monthly old age pension from 3,000 to 3,200. Haryana CM says focuses on well-being industries, workforce, hikes other allowances, pension too. Uttar Pradesh accelerates pharmaceutical growth with global ambience. With global ambitions. Uttar Pradesh Pharma Conclave 1.0 showcased the state's investor-friendly policies, strong infrastructure, push and growing force on pharmaceuticals, medical devices, and healthcare innovation, positioning UP as a global manufacturing hub. Key highlights at a glance, the conclave highlighted Uttar Pradesh's transformation into a trusted, stable, and investor-friendly destiny driven by robust policy support, streamlined regulation, and strict adherence to the rule of law. Infrastructure-led growth emerged as a core force with plans for bulk drug parks, medical device parks, and advanced testing facilities aligned with global standards. The upcoming bulk drug park, Lalitpur, is being developed on a hub and spoke model integrating large-scale manufacturing with research and development capabilities. The event showcased significant progress in ease of doing business, supported by regulatory reforms, decriminalization of several state laws, inspection exemption for MSMEs, and simplified approval processes. The activity of Lalitpur Pharma Panel, investments are UP Pharma Conclave, India's premier medtech hub. MEA revised US fact sheet reflects shared accord. Trade deal certain sticky points have been scrapped from New Delhi, while saying India to receive same garment duty benefits as Bangladesh under US pact. Chhattisgarh building the industries of tomorrow, rapidly diversifying into new age sectors, grounding investments and creating jobs. COP was unable to walk Eric driver. Leadership change not discussed with high command. TPS government first told rates from partially open and is from New Delhi. Summit revised proposal to appoint reason in 7 days. Fragmented response to trade unions 1 day strike. Canada and UAE aim to bounce back. India launched 209 by 9 after Ishan Pandey's 50s. Netherlands looks to stay alive. Italy thrashed Nepal for medal premiership win. BCB chief Islam likely to meet BCCI officials in Colombo. Group remains defined. I thank all my brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, students and scholars, teachers and traders, professors, professionals, officers, officials. I thank all respected doctors and directors. I thank all honorable ministerial manager. I thank all honorable advocates, advisors. I thank the most honorable presentation. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Nice to see all of you. Thank you.